Okay, so today we'll see what is XPath Axes method. So when we go with the XPath Axes approach, so normally what happens? So in any web application, right? So for example, any web page, we first check with ID, name, class name, tag name, right? All these things are common. Like we already covered in previous video, like how to do create our own customized locator. But sometimes what happens, there may be few reason when we choose XPath access. Okay, so the first is reason is when the attributes are values are dynamic. Means whatever the value like class or name or tag names are keep on changing. So it's dynamic. In that case, we cannot write XPath or CSS or based because it's keep on changing every time because of the refreshment like the refresh happen on the DOM internally. So because of that, that might not work. So we go for XPath access. Also, when you have very less attribute, suppose in every attribute, let me just open this. Okay. So this is one, right? So here you can see the search button. If I right click and inspect it, okay, I click on search. Now see here, you can see we have button. This is the tag. We have type, submit, right? Then we have value, class, search button. Then these are the attributes, right? So basically we have two attributes. But sometimes what happen, for example, you don't have type or type attribute like attribute or value ID attribute and all. So sometimes what happen for few cases, you see here also tag name, the value is common for both. So in that case, what happened? This might not work. Okay. So we because of that reason, we can go for expertise. Okay, this is a use. If you have very less attributes to write your expert, okay, in that case we choose uh, axis, expert axis, or your this whatever the attributes are there, the values are dynamic. It's keep on changing every time. Okay, so in that case we choose uh, expert axis method. Okay, before I proceed with the methods, let's show you this one. So how it works. So basically, you can see this page. So this is a I took from internet. So any page, right? Any page, HTML page. You know this is designed in HTML, right? So any page, it's started tag is HTML tag always. So this is the starting tag, root element node. And node already I said every like this one. Suppose this search, right? This search. This is a node. Okay, this is also node. These all are called as a node. Okay. Now this is the start tag. Okay, HTML. Now if I go here, you can see this is the HTML. My tag start, right? This and ends here. You can see this is the end. Okay, this is the syntax of end. Okay, now here also you can see starting, ending. Okay, now this is called root element node. So it will start from here and till this it will end. Okay, whatever you have all the locators we call, it should be part of the HTML body. Okay, so 99% developer they write their all of these under body, not even under head. So if I hover over here, you can see few of them, but most 99% they write there all the CSS, you know, things, design, or all the locator, what we see, it should be under body. So you can see it comes under all the bodies, right? If I hover over, I am getting all this. Okay. Now, how you will consider like what is actually access and all? Okay. Now let's assume you are suppose in this page. Let's move. Okay. This is the search one, right? So this is the search one. This is your current node. Okay. Means you are here. So this is called current node. Okay. So who would be your parent? Obviously, your parent, suppose this here you see the diagram. Okay. So these all are element node title. This is one. Okay. Parent of div element. Suppose what happened? This is one div. Okay. This is one div. So this div comes under which H1, right? So if div is U, then H1 would be the parent, right? And similarly, how you have other roles. For example, this is the div, right? So div, suppose you are, see here it's mentioned, parent of table element. So you can see the table, right? This is also one tag. So this div is considering parent of table. Similarly, we see here also children of table element. So when you say children of table element, so your table suppose is you current node, not you current node. Okay. Now table is a current node. Now its immediate under table is first tr, right? So tr one, okay, and this is again tr. Okay. So this tr comes under TRID. TRID means nothing, it's just a value, whatever they are passing. But your TR is child of table, right? So under table only you can see the TR, right? So here, similar, these are called like child of the current one. So whatever is coming here, right? So suppose another example, div, and this start like HTML. HTML. This is the start of your web page. Okay. Now this is div. Okay. Again, we have another div. Suppose we have three div. Okay. Now under div, first div, we have another call. mm, Suppose this is also div. Okay. And under this div, we have suppose span. We have another span. Okay. Now if suppose you want to look at something, you are pointing here. Okay. So this is your current. This is your current. You are here. This is your current node. Okay. This is your current node. So this span is also a tag. Okay. Similarly, like the body, this is also a tag, for example. Now, this is the current one. Now, its immediate would be always parent because it's derived from the div, right? This div. So this will become parent of the current. Okay. So this is your current and it will become the parent. Okay. Then this span is came from this div, right? And this div also came from suppose this div. Okay. Again, this is a part of this div. Now for this span, right? This span, this div would be grandparent, right? GP, grandparent. So this is spans grandparent. Okay. So similarly, for example, take another example. Div. This is one example we saw, right? Same way, under this div also, there is another div. Okay. And it has also, suppose, uh, and something like span, okay, div, okay, this two. Okay. Now, this div is a parent of this div, right? So, this is the parent and these both are the child, right? These both are the child. Suppose now I am here, my current node. So this is current means wherever you are located, this would be considered as a current. Suppose I am here and this is obviously it would be parent. Okay. Now similarly for this also this become grandparent, right? Grandparent GP. Okay. Now this div and this div, right, are became their brothers, right? For this, because obviously this div is a parent, so these both are child of this. So these both are called to each other sibling. Okay, they both are called to each other sibling. Okay, so this is this and this gives a sibling. Okay, so just there are a lot of methods. Okay, we'll cover one, every methods one by one, but just for understanding how it works. So this is the this is how it's called, like XPath axis means whatever elements are there, it's directly or indirectly related to each other. Okay, so there is a relation with all the elements. Okay, that's why it's called XPath axis. So let's go to Notepad. So what are those methods? Okay, so one is parent. Okay? This is one parent. So I'm just writing the definitions for your understanding. Parents selects the mm, parent of the parent node. So node where clear, right? Wherever you located, that will every text wherever you are locating, right? It's a node. Okay. Now this is parent. Select the parent of the current node. Okay. Now the syntax. So it's a XPath, right? So the syntax is forward slash, then your tag name, whatever the tag name start, then square bracket at the rate tribute equal to under single quote the value you'll pass, then bracket close, then again forward slash, then parent, then double colon. This is the syntax, okay? Then the tag name. So tag name of parent, okay? Tag name of parent, tag name. Okay, now for example, let me inspect this search button again. So this is our search button. We can obviously here we have sufficient attribute and we can write normal XPaths and all. But just for the example purpose, we'll see XPath axis. So what happened? Definition wise, parent selects the parent of the current node. So I am here, right? Currently, this is my node. I am here. So which will become the parent? Can anyone tell?
Submit, type, button.
Where you see submit?
This is a parent, right? Button type.
Submit, these are the attribute. Type equal to whatever you see,
You're
right?
talking about
In
tag name
this.
or what?
No, I am talking about tag name only, the parent tag. For this button is also tag, right? So this
Yeah.
is your current tag, right? So
Mm.
what would be the parent of this button tag?
Form action.
No, not form. So you can see this input is also there, form is also there.
Form
Okay.
divide,
So
maybe DY class search box.
see, okay. So now I'm just minimizing all of this. Okay.
Okay.
So now see, div is I'm all minimizing. Okay. So this is the header. Okay.
Correct.
Now you can see selection. We are where? Let me
In
find out
in
first.
in header inside only. Header inside.
Okay.
Mm.
So this form, okay, this form is this form has two child, okay, input
Correct.
and button,
Mm.
right? Because it comes under form only, right?
Correct.
So it has a two child and both are the sibling, right? So we
Mm.
saw in chart like if one father has a more than one child, then they both will be called sibling to each other. Okay. So button is one node, input is one more node, which comes under form. So for button is like the parent is form, right? Now form again comes under which div, right?
Div. Mm.
Yeah, this div. So this div is became
Grandparent.
uh grandparent for the button,
Okay.
but the form it is parent, right?
Oh
Form it
yeah.
is parent because
Mm.
immediate, right? The immediate one would be always considered as a parent. So for form, div is the parent, but for button, yeah, div is a grandparent. Okay. Now let's see with the tag name. Okay. The tag name, then we have attribute, right? Let me minimize. Okay. So how to write? First double forward slash, then tag name. Tag name is button, right? Okay. This is my button. So you can see the moment I type button, we have 10 buttons.
Correct.
Okay. Now, what is the syntax? Square bracket, start, and at the rate symbol. Okay. Then what? Then attribute. Which
Type.
attribute? Any
Type.
attribute we can take. Yeah. So we'll go with, for example, type.
And go with
Okay.
class or
Now
type.
anything, any attribute you can take. Okay. There is
Yeah.
no issue. Any attribute you can take. We can take any attribute. No issue. Just we should know the now here we have all the ID also present. So
Correct.
obviously we should not go with the XPath Axes, but because of our practice, we are going. Okay. Now this is the starting. Now we have to close the bracket, right? Okay, we are closing. It is fine. It's a normal only, right? Till now, whatever we have written, it's a normal locator, right? There is no, we have not used anything regarding the access. Okay, now the moment you use forward slash, it will consider again XPath access thing. Okay, now what? The parent tag shows the parent tag, right? So if I say form, okay, sorry, if I first the syntax wise, we have to write first parent, then double colon, and then tag name. So I'm saying parent parent, double time colon. So now you see, so it will directly pointed to this form. So form already we said form is a parent of button, right? So this is becoming this parent. So now this is our actual logo. Okay. because we
What's the
have to
difference
mention
between
this
the
parent.
normal XPath and this access method? XPath.
So sometime what happen, this value might get changed. Okay, it's
Mhm.
not. Suppose you might have noticed for few real-time application what happened. The ID shows some value, right?
Correct. 3,
Instead of
4,
some
34 to show next time show
something
35.
in right, correct. If you have those kind of web pages,
Mm-hmm.
this this is only the way to make very unique XPaths and all. So it will
So that
not
means in future
going
the
to
number
break.
if it's changing means it will indicate same under this parent.
So no, if you have any number, obviously that is a dynamic, right? It will keep
Correct.
on changing.
Uh,
So what happened if you write that way? So normal XPath will not work because it will keep on breaking, right? The value
correct.
will get changes and all. But what happened? Or there is another way. Suppose you have one class. Suppose these both are considered two different attribute, they are different locator, and the class name is common for both, right? Sometimes it happens. Like one class have 10. Suppose the moment we write button, right? So button
Mm,
has a 10. So
correct.
sometimes it's very difficult to make you unique, okay? And maybe you somehow you make unique, but because of the dynamic value keep on changing, you are not able to do it. So that because of that, what when you go with the XPath axis. So whatever you have written, right, it
Mm,
will not going to break because every time it's combination between your current and the parent or child or sibling and all, right? That's why it will not going to break. Okay, it will be like this is the purpose to use XPath axis. So it will not break. If the value is also changing under your tag, that doesn't matter. Okay.
okay.
So
Got
this
it.
method will work. Okay. Now this is the parent one. Now let's talk about the another one, child. Child. Okay. So child is can select all children, children. Okay. Select all children of current node of the current node. Current node, whatever the children it has. Suppose now, for example, so we are here. We inspect. Okay. Now this form is father, right? So this form is father and so the children, right? Suppose I want, I will take another now. Let's take about this search. Okay. So this div, right? This div is the input, I guess. Yeah. This div is the input. Okay. This div is the input. So it is child of which one? Form form, right? It's a child of form. This div. Okay. Now this form has another. See, this is one. This is for the search one, right? It has also one. So this form has one child. This is also another child, right? It has two child. Form has a two child. Okay. Suppose I want to go to here. Suppose I want to type something, right? For typing, obviously it's under form, then div and input. Input is nothing. Wherever you have to enter something, so it will treat as the input. Okay, tag. Okay. Now you can see here. Let's talk about so button we have clear, and now we'll see the search one. Okay. So for child, what happened? How to write? The syntax is forward slash tag name. Okay, tag name, then your square bracket, then whatever the attributes and value, you just pass, close it, okay. Then again, double forward slash, you will say child and double time colon, tag name of a child. Okay, the way we saw here, parent, right? Parent tag name. Now we see the child tag. Okay, now if I want to check for the child, right? Suppose so form is, let's see the form. Okay, now if I say form, now you see there are 8 forms available. Okay, there are 8 forms. We'll check for the first one, for example. Okay, now form has 8 form. Now attribute we have to start, right? So for example, again let me scroll up. Okay, so this form, okay. Now attribute name, right? So here we have attribute ID, right? We have method get. Okay, these are the attributes. Suppose I'm taking ID, so we have to take attribute, any attribute we can take it, then close it. So it is okay, but we need to follow this, right? Child. Okay, so suppose if I say child double time colon and child tag name, and I'm using div. What I miss, the
Double forward
syntax.
slash.
Syntax always remember this. Uh, okay, it has 10 now. You see, okay, it has 10 now. So child has 10 now. If I want the first one, so just put index position. Again, if you give index position also, it has a 3, right? You can see. So this is something not unique. Okay, this is something not unique. So in this case, what we can do is, let's again inspect here. Okay, now form. If I write like form, this is one. Let me remove div. Now this form, okay, this div. In case of div, I say suppose div and I say class, whatever the class is there. Class equal to value. Has one, okay, class. Now, is there any child? No, right? Doesn't have any child input. We take Google page. Let's see.
Forward slash you missed again.
No, no, check in other pages. Okay. So, for example, this is our search type box. Okay. Let's see what happened. Okay. So here you see, let me, okay. See, this is a div. Under div, there is one div, two, three, four, five div. So this is father, right? And these are the children, right? Now, this is a style. This is for the CSS one. We don't need that. Okay, suppose I want to type something. Okay, so input is always for the type one. Okay, now it comes under which one? This div. So this div is the parent, right? Now another div. This is another div. Let me. So this div. You can see this div is a parent. Okay, this div is a parent. Okay, and similarly, let's create. So what is the syntax? Forward slash tag name. So I'm saying div, then any attributes, the rate attribute name. So for example, div is our, for example, let's try with the input. Okay. So so this is attribute, sorry, not tag. So any class, for example, if I am just keeping like this, it doesn't have, right? Did we miss any syntax wise? No, right? It's completely fine. Okay.
Why
Now,
you missed right because it's an input. You taken
yeah,
D
yeah,
by
input. Right. Yeah. So you can see here, this is one. Okay. Now, if I want to get child, I am trying to making in different way so that you people will understand like how to. Does uh, does this div has a child? If I say input, will it work? No, right? Because this is not child. Now, in case of child, if I'm saying self, when I self, I don't have any sibling or child and all. So this is another self, okay? Means you are pointed to this one only, okay? Self, okay. Now, for child, obviously, it doesn't have any child. Okay, we have to take then which one? This one. So let's take this class because this is a parent. And now if I say this is pointed to this, so this obviously this also doesn't have any child. So if I take this one, okay, it has this div has how many child? Three child, right? Can you see? Let me show. Okay. Now this one, now the child, right? For example, what is the syntax? Forward slash child double colon and I'm saying div. So now you see there are 10, right? Let me zoom. Now you see the moment I write for this one has a child, 10 child. I'm writing for this. Now how it become 10? So if you just go one by one, see. So this is child for this div, right? Again, this one another child and this also child for this div, right? So this one getting is a parent. Now, for example, if you just copy this class value, okay, this class value, then if you just say it is another state class value, I'm saying, for example, input, right? So this input is child of this div, right? And this tag is also considered because it's a part of this div, right? So if you are saying, you see, this is the input one because we highlighted on this one. That's why the input is came to the picture. Now this become the child one. Okay, child of this class. Which class? This. So this is my parent, and this input become. So input is a tag wherever you see you are able to input, right? So this is the tag. When we cover the HTML, you will understand better. So input, like wherever you have to enter something, definitely you will get input. Okay, developer design in that way. So input is you are able to enter something. So this is also considered a tag. Now it's div is a parent and this input is a child. Obviously, you can see it's starting from div and then came to child and all. So this is another way. So I just if you know the syntax, right? So if you explore more, you will understand. Okay, how to like make this one. Okay. Now the third one is self. Self already we have covered, but anyway, I will show you once again what is the self one, right? So self basically is nothing. Selects the current node. What is the syntax? I'm just copying. And here it would be self. Self node means current node, whatever the current, but syntax wise we have to write like this self and then take it. Now suppose it has also class. Let me make changes something. Okay. So this is self, right? Self of the like current node. So what I'm saying, what is my input, right? Input. Then input is a tag name. Now any attribute name, right? The class is a attribute. Now if I'm closing, it's fine. So self mostly don't use, but for just knowing purpose, we should know how to use. So now what you have to do is copy this one, okay, and self. Okay. So this how what is then how this becomes self. Okay. So self is means you are pointed to the current node. So what happens sometimes you may have two input under one parent. Okay. So you want to point it which one. So in that case also you can use. So based on scenario, based on requirement, you have to switch from one to another. Okay. So it's not something we have to stick to this or that. It based on the scenario. Like okay, but if you know the syntax, then it's very easy to write. Of the XPath Axes and all. But you should know the how to write. Okay. Now let's talk about another one called Descendant. Okay. Descend spelling. Otherwise it will throw error. Means it will not work. But yeah, that's it. So it selects all of the descendant. Like basically it's a child's okay, grandchild, grandchild's like of current node. Why I'm mentioning current node? Otherwise, you will get confused. Current means wherever you are pointed from there, child, grandchild, all of this. Okay. Now, what is the syntax for this? So again, tag name, any attribute value. Till this much, I'm just copying. Okay. Now again, double forward slash, and you will write this and 10. Make sure there is no spelling mistake. Okay. Then tag name. Okay. So definition, it seems very clear. Like it selects all the descendant, like child, grandchild. Okay. Now, I'm just trying to get some. And let me click on this first. Let's inspect. Let's see how it works. Okay. Now, just 1 second. Okay, for example, I want to inspect here. So here it is one div. Okay. Now you see here there are this div is a parent and these are the child. Okay. Now technically this is become a grandparent, right? For all these two, right? Now let's check with this also. So children, grandchildren of current node. Suppose I am pointing here. Okay. So this is become my what? My current node, right? Let's copy the complete one. Okay. Now what is the syntax? Forward slash, then tag name. Tag name is what? Div is my tag name. Okay. There are 287 div, right? Okay. Now, then bracket start, whatever the attribute, right? We have passed. Just close it. You can see there are five. So it shows that same class having five. If I just enter in, see it is pointed to this five, right? One, two, three, four, five. Now, example, any of any of these we want, right? So how to write? So this till now, this is what we understand. There are five total, but I want any one, right? It should be unique always. And now we will use descendant, for example, forward double forward slash, and you write Descendant, descendant. If any spelling not match or like incorrect, then it will not work. Okay. And the tag name. So suppose you are pointed here and tag name. Now see the tag name when the moment I write, I just blindly enter the tag name. Okay. Okay. Now we have to enter tag name, right? Tag name of this class. So div again, it has a div. If I say it's become 25 now. Now how to tackle in this case? So let's assume this is completely one parent, and this is pointed to this, right? This is pointed to this first name. Now this input is a child of div, and this div is become grandparent. So definition wise, what we have to do, all the child or grandchild. So what happens? So here div is my grandparent, and if I take this value now, Again, you see it shows div has 16. Now it's reduced, right? Because these all are considered, these all are div only, right? So it has descendant also, it has a div. Now let's come to here, input. So input is my, for example, the main point, right? Well, okay, now if I take this one, okay, let me take this one. Now again, you see it is pointed to all five, right? 2, 3, 4, 5. The moment you are entering, it is pointing to all these five. Okay, now if I want only one, the first one, okay, so how it works? So for example, again, if you are indexing also, this is what it is coming like this, right? It is coming to like this. Okay. So there are many way, many approach you can follow. You can do like this also. Suppose bracket start, bracket
Yeah,
end.
I'm not supposed to say this one only. See,
Hmm.
nowadays we are not going to use this descendant and parent class, right? Instead of that, you can use it bracket, open and close, and end. You can use index,
Right,
right? Easily
right.
you can
But
find that
what
elements.
happened? What happened? Like for like in current real time applications, sometimes doesn't work in that way. Okay, indexing also doesn't work sometimes. So it based on the application behavior. Okay, it's but you should know all the tricks, right? So you should not plugging any some what plugins are available in market. You should not use any plugin because in real time, any company you join or you work, right, you are not allowed to add any plugins. So people they use plugins and all, but I don't like that. So we should know all the way to create. Okay, so this is another way. If you are getting still you are not able to get it right after all the approaches and all, again you can use this. This is also one way. If you have more than one, based on the index also you can do it, but we'll do one more approach. Okay. Now it has a 5. Okay. Now it's pointed to this one. Okay. Now this is the main. Suppose I am targeting to enter something on the my first name, right? So this div is a grandchild of what? Grandchild of this one, right? So if I just pass it, you have to check, you have to explore, okay? It's you have to explore. Now it becomes 16, you see, because our this has this also consider one div, this is also consider one div, right? And under every div there is a div input, right? So that is the reason. For example, let's take this class again. Again, it's come 5 and div. If instead of div, if I say input, what happens? Same, because every place we have to enter, right? So if you put input also, it has 5. But these are the descendants. So just for a example, you should know, but you know all this. See, these all are considered under which one? This div class. This is the entry, right? This is the entry. Now, if I go with this, then obviously it will give me different picture now. Now, if I say only div, then it will more. But if I say only input, right, it has less, only 4, because it is only pointed to the whatever, enter. Okay. So there are many way, okay, many way to write, but you should know these things. Okay. Descendant, what descendant? Even this could be interview question also. Okay. What is descendant? What is parent, child? How to navigate? But you can try. If you know the syntax, you can explore more. You know you can write experts and all more dynamic way. So basically, this is the purpose to make it dynamic. Okay. Now Similarly, have descendant we saw, self we saw, parent, child we saw. One more is there, descendant or self. Okay. So basically what happened here, it lets parent node and all of of descendant intent like child's, comma, grandchild's, okay, grandchild's and self. Okay. So suppose what happened, one div has many channels. For example, let me show you one diagram. Okay. So what happened? Suppose this is your HTML, okay, starting page. So always it start like this. Now under this there would be head. Any HTML page you notice there would be head. Okay. Head they mention some bullet name and all kind of things they mention mostly. Also lot different attributes are there. Okay. Okay. Under head, for example, you have a body again, anchor tag, start body. So whatever you see in UI, right? Basically, all are under body. The implementation done under body itself. Okay. Now under body, suppose what happens, you have div. Okay. You have one div and under another div, you have span. Mostly commonly these will get input. Okay. Then you may get div. Okay. Input div. This mostly you'll get input div span. This three you'll get very frequently. If you just explore any web page, you will see div, and like span. You see span, right? These are the like mostly you will get under. Okay. Now what it means? Any like child, grandchild, or self. So for example, this div. Okay, let's now any one of this div has again two input tag. Okay, two input tag. Input tag one, input tag two. So what happened? These are your, for example, this is your, this is your child of this div, right? So now this div is also child of this one, right? So this is become grandfather. Okay, this is the grandfather, and these in yeah inputs are grandchild, right? Grandchild of this one. This is the grandchild, right? So if we want to do how to do it, so basically what you will do, you will say the syntax is what, instead of exploring on web page, if I explain here, it would be easy to remember. Okay, now tag name. The very first thing, tag name. Okay, now tag name, then just I'm copying attribute. So attribute tag name of what. So this is you want to locate definition wise. It selects current nodes, all descendants like children. Okay. Now our current node would be deep, right? Because we want to locate this input, right? So our current node should be deep. And now we have to traverse from deep, then this deep, then input, right? So traverse from top to bottom, right? So this is our current. Now, whatever the attribute we have, right? Suppose deep is an attribute, for example. So here, suppose I'm writing deep and some value, right? X, Y, Z. This is the value of this deep. Okay. Then what you have to do? Again, forward slash this, then, okay, and two times. Okay, not this one. Descendant hyphen or equal to. Now it has the input this, right? So when you are saying forward slash tag name in this one, now this is your grandpa. 1 minute, guys. Okay. So the moment you write descendant or self, then the tag name. So I am here, so I will be here use the tag name as input. So this is what is the descendant. So for it will traverse from grandfather to the this one. Okay. So basically the definition you see it selects current node and all the descendant like child, grandchild, and self. So int is our destination, right? So we'll traverse from top to bottom. So that's how it works. Okay, descendant and all. There are let me recall what are those. I think these are the main like mostly you use child and parent. Okay, this is the mostly like we go with this one. Descendant thing very rare we use, but you should know the what is XPath Axes. Okay, so most of the time if your elements are dynamic, then we choose that one. Okay, descendant one. So there are few more are there. Just let me cover. Okay. So following sibling. Okay, there is one more called following. One is following. Okay, so following is it selects all the nodes that appears after the current node. Okay, so I will explain what is this. Let me write the syntax first. So the syntax is tag name attribute is just copying. Okay. Now here we will write following and then what you have to do? You have to just mention double two times colon and the tag name. What it means? So basically following means it selects all the nodes that appear after the current node. So for example, Let me show you here. Okay. Following means, what is my note? So any tag name, right? And it has, suppose, similarly, like it has a different. Suppose we saw like here in example. So this div has, this one. So this is the parent. Okay. Now this is the div, and it has a two, right? So it's following two, right? This input and this input has a two. So more than like one, right? It's following. So that is called tag name. What it selects all the nodes that appears after the current node. So if we try to do here, let's try with one. So div my tag name, then class class. Okay. So this it has a four, right? Here again we have a four. Now this four div. Now what you have to do? Forward slash, and you will write following. Okay, colon. Okay, then you have to use a tag name. So if I say input, okay, if I say input, so it has five. Let me take another one. Okay, instead of this, I'm just changing this. And I'm saying, for example, div. So the moment I mention div, see, you can see 254 means under this class has 254, right? Now, if I say when you can see we have 80. So basically, these all 80s are following, okay, to this means it's come under this, basically this class. Okay, following means it comes under this basically class. Okay, now if I say input, now for this only there are five inputs. Now it's I hover on this, right? See, it's now X, this class XB9 5G. Let me check if our class value is unique or not. See, our class value itself not unique, right? So that is the reason we are getting always 5. Okay. So to make unique, let me inspect again. So this is the class. Okay. So see, this is the real-time experience. So class is 5, right? So basically, when you want to make it unique, so what to do? Now, this class, this input is a part of this class. Okay. Now, if I say following, it is coming 5. So what you are going to write here is forward slash the tag name, right? So the tag name is what? Div, right? So div is a tag name. Copy otherwise. Okay, this is the class. Okay, this is the class. Now tag name, then attribute. So this is class attribute value, and it has a 5. What I'm going to do is, see, we are getting 5 because we have a 5. So you for that is the reason. Okay, it's because it's same for other also. But normally we should not go with XPath Axes with this particular example because we have a unique attributes and all we can use. But you should know the purpose of this one. You should know the syntax. Okay, so it's very helpful. Where elements are dynamic, it will help you. So now following, and you will say tag name. So tag name is what? div only, right? So if I say one, did I miss anything?
Following mistake FOLL. Oh,
FOLL, follow, wing.
O is missing. Makam. You have to add O. FOLLO.
Oh, 1 minute. Okay, the tag name, then attribute. Okay, then FOLLO following double colon. When I say input, it has a 5. Now, if you want to make more specific, then we can obviously go for it. I want one. This is one. See, indexing position also we saw, right? In previous section class. So position also we can use. So that's I'm giving the example. If that is the case, so what happened? Why we'll go for this? So real time, what happened when you just normally create normal XPath, customize XPath without this following and all? What happened? So this class following input, suppose you use some value from here, right? Obviously, you use some value from here only, na? Input text maybe or class or ID input for input. So what happened for input might be the values are changing. So here you, if you notice, we have not used any value from the input. If you notice or not. So ID normal approach, what you do, if you inspect here, we use, okay, input, this is my input tag, okay, take class name, okay, not unique, take ID, take some other, right? We use that way, right? But here, if you see, we have not taken any value from the input because my input values are keep on changing every time. So I cannot use any input values, attribute values. So that is the reason go with this approach. So here my I know my div this parent class this value will not going to change. Okay, because if it's changing, it's impacting in other classes also, whatever the attribute nodes are there, right? So this will not real time, they are not changing. Okay, developer also they know how to do. If the changings are there also, they put always the particular, attribute or like component. Okay, so these all are considered as a component. Okay, these all are the component. So
But
now, yeah,
see, in the following double colon input, we are not adding any values right here. So
no,
why we
no.
need to add this one? Instead of that, we can remove and just add that index, right?
Which index?
So example, remove that following. Yeah, keep that index only. Yeah,
Okay.
remove following
Remove.
input everything. Yeah, remove
Okay.
that forward slash input till input. Yeah,
Okay.
add that. No, man. Close the bracket means yeah, index. Add the index.
Mm.
Yeah, this one you can use, right? Because in the following input, we are not adding any values, right? So at the
Right.
end, again, you're going to add index only. So instead of that, we can use like this, right?
This is also fine. But what happen if you have, for example, similar, suppose here we have 5, right? Okay, that's
Mhm.
fine. But what happen? Some attribute, even for class also, there may be some changes. For example, you are not sure, right, when they are going to make the changes or what you are saying, Raghu, this completely I'm agreed with you. But you should know the dynamic. If the values are keep on changing, right? Suppose these values also changing, then what will do?
No, bro,
You have
yeah.
to
My
shift
question is,
somewhere,
see, the
right?
value is changing, it should be changed in the class value, right? But because in the following input, we are not adding values. Yeah, if you
Right.
are adding values, definitely if tomorrow if they're going to change, yeah, you can follow this one. But we are not adding value, right?
Ah,
Just we are adding the.
that is the thing.
Hmm.
What before I start this topic only, I mentioned that if your values are dynamic. Okay, like today you have automated something, tomorrow you came and see it doesn't work. Why? Your values are changing. So you have to go for this approach. Okay, sibling things and all, like parent-child combinations and all, or sometime in real time, it's where you are seeing ID is unique, first name, last name, but in real time, what happened? They put, I will show you, okay, real time example and all. So in real time, what happened? They put all these fields under one div, okay, or one tag, and all are common. Last name value is common. ID value is also common. Okay. Lot, so they put in one. So you can see this input, right? So this is one input under div, right? Now this is a different input. So it again it's here it designed under other, right? But what happened? They put in one input all of this, like for div, right? They are putting there is no input event. Okay, in real time, what happened? You will not see any input event. You will just see this class. Okay, this class will have five different tags, and all five tags are common. Values are common. You can explore. Okay, real time. So you'll understand more. So if my div, okay, div, all these tag names are not mentioned or not unique, uh, then it's very difficult to go with that approach. Okay, like normal approach. If not dynamic and you are able to, don't consider these things until you are not getting with the basic elements and all, it's not working, then don't follow. If till the normal approach you are able to do it, then just follow, because sometime what happen, your element is locator is also fine. Okay, there is no issue with your locator, but when you automate, it don't interact, or you want to click on some button also, that time also it doesn't work. You will see, the more you practice, you will see if you find, you inspect that element locator, it's correctly, it is showing, it is okay. But what happened, there is one concept called DOM, shadow DOM. Okay, so few things only will be visible when you just interact to the element. Okay, or you click on the element, or you try to hover on the element, then it will visible. Rest of the time it will be hidden. Okay, so in that scenario, the normal approach will never going to work. Maybe your locator is also fine, everything also fine, because of the shadow DOM, because hidden and all, right? uh, See here, you see I have written hidden, uh, type hidden, so there are 12 hidden. So we don't know, right, which are the elements are hidden. Okay, so there are a lot of mechanism. Okay, if first go with the normal approach. If it's working fine, then no need to go with this, because this is not something very easy to understand and very easy to write also. Okay, first. But you should know all of this, right? Tomorrow, if someone is asking, do you know, say, what are the XPath Axes? People, even most of the people you ask, people even don't hear this word also. Forget about the explaining to you. Didn't hear also. So you should know all of this. That is my purpose. But yes, real time, even your element is okay, but because of the shadow DOM picture, a lot of things, so we go for this approach also. So that works. Okay, because you have automated till this much, just you are not able to click on this. Your locator is okay for the next button, but the moment you start the browser automation, it's not interact. You tried all the methods all the way, action class, JavaScript executor, lot of things, it doesn't work sometimes. Okay, it's based on the experience, but you should know all the when to use what. You should know all the mechanism. Then nobody, like, you should not be depend on anyone. That guy will come. he will help you know. You are only the person who can help yourself. That's the purpose. Okay. So anyway, so these are the things. The following one. Let me cover one more preceding. Okay, preceding, preceding. Okay, so preceding is what? It selects all nodes, nodes that appear before before the current node. So preceding me, it selects all the nodes that appear before the current node. Suppose here my current node is, for example, this is my current node, right? Okay, this is my current node. So this current nodes before means before I come to this div class, right? So whatever comes before, it will point it to that. So I'm here input, right? So if I just copy this value and just search it, so you see this pipe, right? So these pipes are from the different fields. So what I'm going to do is the syntax is very simple. Tag name, whatever the tag name is div, right? Div. Then attribute. So this is my class attribute value. Just I'm passing and it has a file, for example. Okay. Now what to do? Now preceding. Okay. The forward slash double time, then PREING preceding, then double colon and the tag name. Suppose now the moment I hit div, right, means there are 66. Okay, means the input, right, whatever the input we have. For example, let me inspect again. So this input, right, before coming to this particular input tag, okay, we have 66. So now if you want to put target to this one, right, so you will again say div, and let me take this div class value, and this is my input, for example. Input, see, input also preceding div has 66. So means before you come to this part, all the, for the definition, it selects all nodes appears before the current node. So before you jump to the current node, whatever comes, under that div, right? This tag name, it will it will just capture all this. So before you come to this input, okay, it is not pointed to this, means it is pointed to this, but before, because preceding we use, right? So under this div has 66. Okay, so it will follow the same, like which one you want to interact, and you will go like this. Okay, it's, I know, very not like very easy to understand, but please you should know this. Okay, it's it would be helpful. Maybe like simple, like we are getting our XPath and all by using all this basic locator, but this is very important. Okay, you will only remember then only. Yes, Martin told correct. Okay, the syntax is view then value, okay, then preceding, then tag name. Okay, so this is what, okay. So preceding, following, all this we have covered. Okay, there are many ways, like ancestor and all, like that it's okay. Till this, if you know, it's pretty good. Okay. So real time also you can, if you do any practice, you'll get to know like how to use that and all. So basically, uh, if I Google also, let me Google it. Uh, Okay, here you see what is written. XPath Axes are the methods used to find dynamic elements which otherwise not possible by normal XPath method having no ID, class, name, etc. Access method are used to find those elements which dynamically change on refresh or any other operations. Okay, so like basically what happened. So take this example only. So here you can see this. Let me make it more zoom. Okay. So here you see this is the reset button. So you see TD, right? So TD is another tag in HTML called uh, table data. Okay. So TD. TR means table row. Okay. TR, when you see any TR tag means it's a web table. Okay. TR. So tag is TR means row, table row. Okay. And you will see some TC also, like table column. Okay, you will see TD. TD is table data. So you see here under TD, it has the input. So here no, see here also normal XPath will also work, right? Type, value, both are not same, right? Submit, one is reset. So what happens sometimes the type value are submit also, or something like values are dynamic. Okay, some ID, it will start with some alphabet, then add with some I 2, 3, 4, something, some, so that value is keep on changing, okay, every time. So in if that is the use case, so now you see input, two input. So you may have 3, 4, 5 input also, right? So in that case, it doesn't work normal. So what they did, see, the tag here they use type, then submit, then following. Also, sometimes your values are there, but it is not clicking. It also happens. Okay, there are many reasons. Okay, so it's not happening. Like locator is completely okay, but it's not happening because of some XYZ reason. DOM, like XYZ means basically if it's comes under the shadow DOM. So shadow DOM is nothing like uh, the moment you open any element, like any web page, right? Our expectation is all the elements should be visible. There should not be any hidden element, right? But what happens sometimes, uh, few elements on web page are only visible the moment you interact. Otherwise, you can't get it. So in Selenium, what happened? If normal time, it's very difficult to get those like you can't interact because it's a part of the shadow. The DOM, like DOM is there, right? So all the elements once you open the browser, so DOM is first load, then the elements come second place. Okay. So this may be interview question also. If like is which one is in response first, DOM or the web element? So first the DOM will respond because all the elements come under DOM itself. Okay, this all element we see, right? This all comes under DOM. So this all comes under DOM. So this will be enabled second. First should be the DOM. Okay, the DOM, under DOM everything's are there. So these tags, whatever the D you see, right? TD is table data. TR is table row. So by looking at this, you can understand this is the web table. And normal approach, there are a lot of things we'll cover every topic, how to handle web tables and all. Okay, that normal approach will not work. Web table, how to handle those things we'll cover later. Okay, so there are a lot of things to understand, but yes, so you should know the what is called XPath Axes and all, uh, when to use, why to use. Even from interview point of view, also people might ask questions. Write the syntax of this one or one, how to write this. Or they may ask if you are not able to normal approach is not work, then what you do. So you should know. Okay. So for today, we are done. Okay. So this is one I before I start Selenium, I wanted to cover. Okay. So you can stop recording.